I do have some very unfortunate news to tell you.
What?
She didn't make it.
No.
Yeah. So Joel's still at the hospital, but the other person involved didn't make it. Sorry. I just didn't want you to hear it outside of here.
Is there something we could do for you? Is that Jonah, isn't it?
What?
Jonah, the one back there?
Yeah,
okay. Would you want Jonah in here with you? You wanna, what do you wanna do? Do you wanna make a call?
You can sit.
You should go. I'm sitting there, she disarms me, we go to lunch, we come back from lunch, and they hand me the revolver, the Colt.
And I just like some name. It's Hannah again.
They arm me,
Okay.
and you're assuming, as we've done every time, that it's a cold gun for the rehearsal. And I put the gag in the shot, you're the camera, because I have a coat, and I have a holster, and I pull the coat over, and I kind of cup my hands like I folded my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to slowly sneak the revolver, the Colt out, and turn and shoot these other guys, or try to shoot them. I take the coat over the thing, the camera's there. I believe, my recollection is she was there, turned a bit, like talking to him. So I think she was hit in the right armpit. But this is all I know, and that is that I take the gun out in the rehearsal. Really, he wants it very dramatic and very sort of kind of sneak up on them. I take the gun out, and as I take, as it clears, as the barrel clears, I turn and cock the gun over here. I turn and cock the gun goes off.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a cold gun. Nothing. No flash charges, nothing. Now, this is a puzzle to me. This is making me very emotional now, you know. But in my time, and I'm older now, but when I was younger and I was shooting guns in films, I've never seen a theatrical flash round where the material went through someone's armpit, came out their body, and hit somebody else in the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if your department is prepared to go find out what comes out of his shoulder surgically. Is that a live round?
That's what we are actually looking at.
Is that a lot? Because it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah.
It hits her in the armpit, comes out her shoulder, goes into his shoulder, and he just told me on the phone, I talked to Joel. He said, they showed me the x-ray, and the shape of the thing in my shoulder is the shape of a bullet. Now, all the rounds, I was told, you need to verify, I think this is important, they take the gun, they enter and all the rounds that are in there were either dummy rounds, no flash, cold rounds, or rounds with a flash. In the rehearsal, there should have been nothing. It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside or dummy rounds, cosmetic rounds, no flash. I take the gun out slowly, I cock the pistol, bang, it goes off. She hits the ground. She goes down. He goes down, screaming. He's like, Jesus Christ, and I'm going, and I thought that maybe sometimes the wadding can come out if you're closer to get a burn. Two actors who killed themselves with guns, with theatrical guns, John Eric Hexum and Brandon Lee, they put the live round in, and I'm told even with the flash powder, you can cause contusions and you can do a brain bleed and die, which both of them died.
Right.
I think with Brandon Lee, there was a piece of material lodged in the thing that shot from the, or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember vividly, but my point is, I've been doing this, I shot enough guns in my day in movies, I've never seen this before, where a flash round, but from my understanding is, may I borrow your pen for a minute?
Of course, you could even borrow me.
My understanding is that in a bullet, you know, here's the thing with the pin, and here's the bullet itself. And now here, when you have a cosmetic round, no flash, no nothing, they drill a hole in the side of the brass to signify that it's a cosmetic round. There's nothing in there. There's no powder. But when you have a flash round, and there's stuff in there, wadding and powder to make the charge. This material here, that is the bullet, is made of a clay or some material that just disintegrates. So what you have is bang, and you see the flash go bang, and you get a sound, but nothing. There's no projectile.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm curious about is, what came out of that bullet that went through her body and into his shoulder?
That's pretty powerful.
I've never heard of it. Now, some people say you can lodge material in the barrel accidentally, a rock, something, that happens. Which is why every time we've done this, I'm here to tell you, to testify that every time we've done this, she's done it right. She cleaned the barrel, made sure nothing was lodged in there. We went hot when they were ready. You always announce, going hot. Crew gets ready. And then all of a sudden, you're the camera, and I shoot away from you. I sit there like, bang, 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 and flashes are coming out. We shoot the rounds. She cleans the barrel every time, and she checks that the rounds are all cosmetic rounds, or nothing in the chamber for the rehearsal. She hands me the gun. I'm assuming she's done it the right way. She's done it the last 2 weeks. I put it in the holster. I pull it out slow. We're rehearsing. We're not filming anything. I pull it out slow, turn, cock the pistol, bang, it goes off, and she hits the ground. And then he starts screaming. And I'm thinking, in a flash round, I could see maybe if there was wadding or there's some stuff that's hot, and maybe it hits you and burns you. As they say, sometimes that happens. But remember, we're rehearsing, so no one's protected.
So it's all supposed to be this one, cosmetic one.
Or nothing.
Or nothing.
For the rehearsal, the gun is normally empty.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that they were standing in positions they wouldn't ordinarily be in, because they assumed it was an empty, cold gun. We weren't shooting, we were rehearsing. That's a vital difference. So if she's here, if the camera's here, and she's standing here talking to the gun, and I'm on a bench here, and Joel's behind her, and this is not proportionate, because obviously the camera's not as big as her body, but I draw the gun slowly and aim off camera, and there's supposed to be nothing in there. So she's not protecting herself and standing off. I'm shooting in a direction, and everybody is supposed to be to that side of the camera. There's nobody in my line. Nobody. And so when I shoot the gun, so in the rehearsal, I'm assuming I have an empty gun, and the gun goes off, she's right in front of me. Mm-hmm. She's as far from me as I am from the difference between maybe you and the door.
Okay. So pretty close proximity.
It was a very tight shot.
Okay.
The shot was here. Of me, not of me, it's of me pulling the gun slowly, turn cock.
Okay.
And she's right there, vulnerable, in a position she wouldn't ordinarily be if we were shooting, and this thing, boom, she hits the ground.
Okay. All right, I'm going to back you up just a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
How long have you been on set?
I arrived Monday the 11th.
Okay.
And started my fittings, and they were shooting the week before.
And the 11th of October?
Monday the 11th, I flew in from New York. I flew from New York to Denver to Albuquerque, because there's no direct flights there, and then drove from Albuquerque to here, rehearsed and fitted, and did all my preparatory stuff.
So that was in October, correct?
That was Tuesday the 12th, yeah. I flew on the 11th, rehearsed on the 12th, started shooting the 13th, Wednesday the 13th, I started shooting.
Okay.
We shoot a Wednesday through Sunday schedule. We're off Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. So the entire time you've been on set, have you seen the same armorer?
And her crew, yeah. Everybody.
How many people are on her crew?
My guess is that what I witnessed is 3.
Okay.
All young women. Hannah and 2 other women.
All right.
And very often they're tasked with me, because we're not shooting every day, guns, there's no armaments every day. They dress me with my holster, my knife. The film is set in 1888, so I'm armed with the classic weaponry of the cowboy era.
Okay.
And so they would make sure I was dressed properly. 85% of their task is to make sure I'm dressed with everything properly.
The armorers?
The armorers.
Or just...
Well, the armorers, wardrobe doesn't necessarily, they sometimes trade back and forth, but wardrobe doesn't necessarily deal with my holster.
Okay.
And the knife, but that's a prop. The armorer, Hannah, and her team, they dealt with me being knifed and that being lashed properly, so it looks proper.
Okay.
And the holster.
Okay.
So it was wardrobe as much as it was props, as much as it was armaments.
Okay. Do you know Hannah's last name?
No.
Do you know what she looks like? Or can you describe
Yeah,
what
multicolored hair, glasses, not too tall. Everyone knows her pretty well because her father is a very famous armaments guy. He's a guy that did guns in movies for decades. He's very well known.
Okay.
She's the daughter of this famous gun guy, movie gun guy.
And what about the other girls in her crew?
I don't remember their names.
Okay. Do you know what they look like?
Blonde, thin, not too short, kind of medium height. and brunette, someone on the shorter side, maybe the same height as Hannah, brunette, and also you go back and forth between, they're wearing a mask most of the time on set. They've been ordered to do that. But I've seen them with their masks off.
Okay. All right. What time did you guys start today?
I don't know what time they started. I came in slightly later because they had a couple of shots without me in the morning, so I came in at, I guess I arrived there at like about 7:45.
Okay.
Normally I'm there at like 6:30.
All right. And then anything abnormal in the day? Who handed you your weapon in the day?
Hannah.
Hannah did. Okay. And physically handed or put it in the holster?
Handed it to me.
Okay.
She would show me the gun.
Okay.
Or she'd say, cold gun. She'd say, test it, or some language to indicate, she handed me the gun, that it was fine. And she'd say, do you want to check?
Okay.
And I always didn't want to insult her, I said, because we never had a problem.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm good. So, and the first AD very often will ask, periodically, he'll say, let me check.
Okay.
And they'll have two people check, for this very reason, that we don't have any, forget about live rounds of bullets, that we have any flash rounds in the gun while we're rehearsing. Because if someone wants to indicate, and they're not thinking, they pull the trigger on the gun, you just hear the hammer, the dead sound of the hammer hitting, and you have no flash rounds at all in there for the rehearsal. The rehearsal gun should be empty.
Okay.
And as I said, for the 2 weeks I've been shooting, it has been empty. We haven't had one problem.
And you have you physically checked that, or just by?
She announces to me that it's clean.
Okay.
She'll say, cold gun, we rehearse. Then when she's done, she takes the gun, goes off to a corner. She has a kit, like a zip fanny pack, with her elements in there. She puts the flash rounds in there. She'll say, quarter load, but it's a lower sound. Or she'll say full load. And if you're the crew and you're shooting me close, even if I say the full load, it is rather loud. It's very loud.
Okay.
She's always announcing what's going to happen.
All right.
And she's been very good about that.
So have you guys, backtracking a little bit on this, because she's telling you with some of these guns, have you guys been practicing with those quarter loads, the full loads, all that through the past couple of weeks? Or have you shot with them?
I came in on Tuesday, that's what I did Tuesday,
okay.
The 12th. I came to the ranch, rode the horse, and just got used to that. And because they have a double who really rides in the distance up really fast, and all the athleticism you see me on the horse, and they cut to a watch of another guy riding on the horse.
Okay.
Quite a crew of them.
So today was not the first day that?
No, I shot on Tuesday the 12th with the Henry, the lever, arm action lever, the lever action rifle,
okay.
and the pistol. I just shot both.
Okay.
And she was there.
All right, moving back forward. What time did you guys break for lunch today?
Usually, I think today we broke at 12:30.
Okay. And who took the weapon at that time?
Hannah.
Physically took it?
Always does. Rarely do the other ladies, the two other women, handle the pistol that's live shooting in the scene. As I said, I have the Henry in my hand as a prop. I'd be running through the scene, but no bullets, nothing. When they'd say cut, I could hand it to the blonde girl.
Okay.
But whenever we were interacting with somebody where rounds were going to go in the gun, you would have flash rounds in the scene. We shot flash rounds. It was only Hannah.
Okay.
Only. With her fanny pack with the rounds in there, her equipment.
Okay. Do you know what time you guys got back from lunch?
I guess it's 1:30 by the time we all get back to the set up. There's a base camp, and there's the set. Mm-hmm. So we go to the base camp for lunch, then they always just drive back, get their wardrobe touched up, get their hair touched up and makeup, whatever it is, and then we're on set. We put about an hour before we go back on the set.
Okay. And was Hannah the one to physically hand you the gun at
yes.
that point? Okay. During the time that you had it, was it ever handed off to anybody else?
No.
Okay. Did you see where she got the gun from?
No.
Okay.
She has a station somewhere with all her stuff.
Okay.
The elements and the gun and a couple different guns. Guns for the other actors, and she handles all the guns.
Is anybody else allowed in that area?
I don't know, but I know that on this, I've never seen anything that was out of the ordinary. She had like sometimes they have a cart, like almost like using like a hospital catering, there's like a big plastic tray, a dark plastic tray, two levels and wheels. I think that's what she has, but many of the departments have that, and on that tray would be her, or something like that. I don't recall what exactly hers was, but they have a station that they bring to the set for her to put all of her stuff, and if the weather is cooperative, and sometimes they put it under a tent if it looks like it might rain and might damage the property. But she has a little place she would go to. And I think she has a truck where she stores it. When they wrap, everything goes into a truck and she takes off with it. It's her responsibility to secure the prop weapons.
Everything in there.
Which are real guns. They're real guns.
Can you actually describe the gun to me?
It's a Colt, a period Colt. In our emails back and forth when we were prepping the film, she showed me just a couple different styles of guns. This is not a big budget movie, so we didn't have a lot of choices. She showed you 3 or 4 choices. I said, give me the biggest gun you've got.
Okay.
And so I didn't, she showed me different guns by email and different knives by email. Cruder knives that were made like someone fashioned the handle out of like elkhorn or things. I took a traditional knife, a leather strap, a handle. We went back and forth about the holster and the material, and we just had a relatively brief conversation. I'm having made a lot of movies, I know how not to stress them out about the budget. When she shows me something, I try to make that work. And so she showed me, I said, just give me the big Colt. We were done. And then on that Tuesday, the 12th, I came and shot that gun.
Okay. What color is it?
I believe it's a brown handle, because she showed me 2 of the larger Colts. One had a cherry-colored handle, and one had a brown handle, and I chose the brown handle.
You didn't want the cherry.
I could show you my emails in my phone. I didn't want the cherry, it was too shiny.
Ah, okay.
My character's a little bit in the retirement side of his career, so. He's a retired bank robber.
I'd say out in the Wild West cherry.
You need the gun from that